Hey, this is Ramon, channel myself before, and I'm going to be updating my book collection today. So we're going to start off with my Greek. What I want to highlight here is Sappho. Sappho is really great. We got Herodias, who I love. Thucydides is not a great read. Xenophon is of course great. I love the Persian expedition. We're going to have some history of Alexander, Guide to Greece. Then over here, we're going to have my Roman section. Livy, of course, great. I love Livy. Polybius, I don't think I finished. Sallust, Caesar, I love. Sallust, I think I only read part of it. Caesar, I love. Appian and Lucian, I still have not read. Jophetius, I've referenced. Tactius is a really good writer. Down here, we're going to have the Eastern Empire. Haven't read any of these yet. I plan on reading the Alexid soon. Then we have ourselves the Crusades, and we also have ourselves Native American history, and then some Spanish history included with that. I do recommend everyone read the 4 Voyages of Columbus. It's basically Columbus's diary. That being said, it is very boring. I've never finished it. I've read pieces of it. I love Plutarch, and if you haven't read the Gallic War, you really should. That's not the best translation. I like the Penguin translation better. I don't know if I still have it, but the Penguin translation I think is the best. Okay, back here, I just set this up. We have Freud, Jung, Camus, a book about how to write history. We have ourselves history, ancient Greek and world history. Then we have ourselves some Stoicism, specifically Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. I have 3 translations of Marcus Aurelius. I'm really big on Marcus Aurelius. He's awesome. Then we got my Transformers. Autobots over here. Decepticons over here. A History of Mexico. Spartan Women. The Mark the Arthur. We got ourselves some reference books. More Plutarch in there. Okay, over here we're going to have my Existentialism, Ethics, Feminism, Philosopher's Handbook. Over here I'd like to highlight Xenophon, of course, more Plato, more Aristotle. Love Aristotle. Plato, we get some Cicero, some Seneca, Logic, Hegel, and I got Hegel down here also. I should put them together. American philosophy, Nietzsche, some Descartes, and Voltaire. Ayn Rand I still haven't read, but she's sitting there. I'm probably going to do her as an audiobook, honestly. We have Stranger in a Strange Land, The Stranger, and The Myth of Sisyphus. I actually really like Camus. His writing's really interesting, really deep. Notes from the Underground, because I think he goes really good. I think Dostoevsky goes really good with Camus. I haven't read Spinoza yet, but I really want to. Pain and Mill and Pain. We got Sartre. We have Machiavelli, who I love. Miyamoto Musashi, who I also love. Book of 5 Rings, go read it. Book on Indian philosophy, and a book on Latin American philosophy. Over here we have my Batman stuff. Down here we have my X-Men stuff. And some other genuine Marvel. This is just my extra biblical stuff, I guess you'd call it. The Apostolic Fathers. Highlights here, Thomas More, Kierkegaard. And yes, I do have some Martin Luther in the very back. Underneath, I have my mythology stuff. Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Odyssey, the W.H.D. Rouse, I really do recommend. The Mesopotamian stuff. Virgil is boring. I got my Hindu stuff that I really loved when I read it a long time ago, but I really need to reread it because I don't remember much of it. Got some Viking, some Buddhism. Down here, we have ourselves martial arts. Here's a new shelf you guys haven't seen before. We have ourselves just workout material, basically. Stuff I like to reference for my training, personal training. We have some prestige comics, some cool dorky stuff, Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, Gwent, and some general cards. Have some manga, not much, but I like it. I really like Vagabond, by the way. Over here I have Chinese stuff. That's me and my wife. Over here I have some Chinese stuff. The spring and autumn annuals were really hard to get. Highlights over here in the Chinese section, by the way. The Tao Te Ching and the Art of War is recommended reads for everybody. Let's see. Just more Chinese stuff. Chinese history, Chinese philosophy. Down here, we have all the Spanish stuff I need to learn, and also business books. Jeffrey Gittimore, I think his stuff is really good. And I don't have any physical copies of it, but I do have some Grant Cardone on my audiobook stuff. And there's my cat, being my cat. Okay. There's my science stuff there. I got some Darwin, Hitchens, Freud, Book of Mormon. Just some random stuff. I like the Conan books, dude. They're cool. Let's see, Plato and Aristotle, Guns, Germs, and Steel, which I haven't read yet. Some older books. Let's see, Ovid, I like. Sylvia Plath, I like. That's Dickinson. That's Emily Dickinson behind the Riddler. I haven't read Zola yet, but I want to. Paradise Lost is good. Obviously, I've read it. Look at how I destroyed that spine. Sherlock Holmes, haven't read yet. John Carter, I read the first book, or listened to the first audiobook, I should say. I really liked it. Really liked it. We have 1984, one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. Animal Farm, Fahrenheit 451, another one of my favorite books when I was a kid. Still have not read Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland. I meant to. That's why I bought them. Never got around to it. We got Little Women, which I liked. Little Men, which I have not read. Badge of Courage, which I love. Don Quixote, I have not read yet. But they're two of my dad's favorite characters. Canterbury Tales, I haven't read. The Awakening is a memorable story from when I was a kid. When I read that in junior high, I was kind of blown away. It stuck with me. Let's see, Tale of Two Cities, never actually read. Christmas Carol, of course I've read it. Great Expectations was boring. Nutcracker, whatever. Let's see, other highlights. Les Miserables I haven't read yet. Moby Dick I haven't read yet. We have Dostoevsky. We have Marquis de Sade, which I have read a lot of. Marquis de Sade is very interesting, but honestly, I think the most offensive outside of maybe the Quran to Christians is going to be the Marquis de Sade. But I would say the Quran is more controversial. Tolstoy, The Hobbit, all that stuff I haven't read. Those are my dad's, and he gave them to me. I just haven't read them. Let's see, Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe. I love Edgar Allan Poe. And obviously Megatron and Soundwave. Those books I actually got from a donation bin. I haven't read them, but I thought I'd collect them. I have read the Game of Thrones novels. Well, those three anyway. Actually, I didn't finish the third one. I was reading it with a girlfriend and we broke up. Let's see. We have Jim Butcher. I really, really like those books. I do recommend the people read the Dresden Files. I have myself some Patricia Briggs and Laura K. Hamilton, because who doesn't like trash? We got Dune, which I haven't read yet. We got the Magicians trilogy I haven't read yet. We have... Oh, this is such a good series. If you are not reading the richer books, you really need to. I've actually switched to the audiobooks, and the audiobooks are amazing. Reference material. We have plays and books from college. All right, over here. We got the Dinobots, and we have my Star Wars novels that I got. Mostly extended universe stuff. Those books are a gift from my wife. These are all children's books right here. Down here is just book on massage, investments. Okay, anyway. There you go. The Christian section up here, didn't have another place to put those. Jewish stuff right here. Again, just didn't have another place to put them. I really like these. These are really good. I recommend anyone who's interested in the Jewish interpretation of the Bible, I recommend you get this. It's part of a whole set that's really huge, really expensive, but yeah. So Sephardic stuff. I actually have a different Seder, Sephardic Seder, but I have this one here. And yeah. Okay, and more classics. The Jungle Book I like. Catch-22. I haven't read Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn yet. I've been meaning to. I'm probably going to do it in audiobook. Pirate books that I haven't actually read. The Jungle. Most of these over here I just haven't read. Haven't gotten to until we get to right here. So my favorite vampire novels, Carmilla and Dracula. Wuthering Heights is great. Heart of Darkness is great. Pride and Prejudice is great. Frankenstein is amazing. Anna Karenina is very long. Dante is very cool. Beowulf is boring. Superman. Catholic stuff. Catechism, Bible Dictionary, Missal, Christian Saints. Against Heresies, Little Rock Study Bible. I finally did get the other Vatican II books. So yeah, that's cool. I have a Greek translation of the Bible, Book of Psalms, and some novenas, which is kind of cool. Down here I got my Spanish language Bibles. Okay. And then I have my study material. This is all Bible commentary. I really like it. I recommend it. I recommend every single one of these except for maybe that one. You pick which one I'm talking about. One of these I'm not really a fan of, but all the rest of these. And then my favorite one is going to be the Oxford Annotated. That's my favorite commentary. Okay. Then we have prayer books. That's my Sephardic Seder. That is, I love that, the Grail Psalms. Those are my favorite to pray out of. Let's see, Liturgy of the Hours. Amazing. If you're Catholic, go get it right now. Then I have my Bible translations. Yep, I got a lot of them. Down here, I have the Gnostic Bible, I have the Pseudepigrapha, have a dictionary, and then I have my Quran stuff over here in the corner. And there you go.